We live? I think we are. Here we go. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to start building lineups here. And you guys can ask me any questions you want because I'm just messing around right now. But as I said in my article this week, I think Joey hand me baby. I you know Joey Hand's an interesting one. I think he's going to be super kind of chalky for like a back marker car. And I will say I think the Rick Ware 15 car is a lot faster this year than it was last year. I'm not I'm not overly concerned about the speed, but I'm kind of concerned about mechanical issues. So I don't think I'd go too crazy with Joey Hand. Plus, I think you can build a lineup, a very, very good lineup without dipping down to Joey Hand. It's certainly possible that he ends up in optimal today just because, he had that speed yesterday and starting back in 38th. Um, but I don't think you need to dip. I don't think you really need to dip down there. I'll show you here in a second. I need to post something really quick. Too chalky to pair Larson and Elliott. I'm not fully sold on Larson and Elliott today. Rotodoc and I talked about this on Stacking Denny's. Like with this new car and with them not having as much speed as we're used to with them, I think it's too chalky to pair them up. Like I think it might be too chalky to overly use them. Like I'd rather switch and come down to someone like a Kyle Busch or even Martin Truex Jr. or these mid $8,000 to $9,000 drivers because you can stuff a ton of these good drivers into a lineup. Obviously, I'm still going to have Larson and Elliott exposure, but it's not going to be like a normal. Like there'd be previous years for road course races that I'd be like 60% on Elliott or Larson, and that's not going to happen today. I can guarantee that. A second, guys. So I think like I don't even know. Like here's kind of the build that I'm ending up on. So, and I'll get to some of these comments in a little bit. I want to get a lineup here in quick. Um, so obviously, like my core plays this week that I wrote up were Byron, Allmendinger, and Chastain. I really like those guys. Byron, not worried about him not having speed. I think he's going to be fine. He's a very good. He's shown speed in road courses in the past, and starting 24th in a Hendrick car, he's going to be perfectly fine. These drivers, if you watch practice on Saturday, you saw that they were learning as they went. Like this new car has definitely thrown a wrench into things, and they're not as like they learned a ton on Saturday, and it was a very short practice session for both groups. So they're going to continue learning during the race today. We're going to see people getting faster, and the drivers that have an edge that are starting today, we're going to see them lose that edge, and we're going to see other drivers get faster. So I'm not worried about guys that didn't show a ton of speed on Saturday because I think the talent's going to come to the front. But so you start out with a like a core of Byron, Allmendinger, and Chastain. It leaves you $7,900 remaining. Now, I don't like. There's still a ton of value here in this $6,000 range. Someone like Michael McDowell at 6,200 is a very capable road course racer, and if you throw him in there, leaves you 8,750 to play around with. I still really like Reddick despite the fact that he qualified, fourth. He's starting a little farther forward, but I think he has a ton of speed, and I think he can, I think he can lead 20 laps today. I got a message a couple hours ago about maybe doing uh, pairing together Reddick and Joey Logano, because if you read Rotodoc's article, um, he thinks Logano is a great tournament play, and I absolutely agree with him because I do think nobody's going to be on Logano. Penske obviously has speed. Um, and Logano's starting sixth, and that's why nobody's going to be on him because he starts a little too far forward. But he's shown that he can finish, top three at road courses in the past. So tournament play, I absolutely agree with Nick this week. Logano is a great tournament play. Um, but as far as the exact question I got earlier today was, can you pair Logano and Reddick together? I think that's a little too risky, for a single lineup to actually do that because you basically have to bank on both of them finishing top three for it to work out, and I don't see that happening. So I'd go one or the other. I'm going to do Reddick in this lineup here. So I could jump up and grab Logano. You could do a lineup like this where you do Byron, Allmendinger, Chastain, McDowell, Reddick, and then grab Logano. I actually don't hate Briscoe here starting 14th. He's obviously had speed this year. He won at Phoenix. He's a capable road course racer. I don't hate this lineup at all. I don't think McDowell would probably be my play here. I'm not going to go up there and jump up to Bubba Wallace. But this is an example. Like, you don't have to come down here to the like the Kaz Grala's, the Harrison Burtons, or the like the deep salaries here. Yeah, you're not getting the top tier guys with Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, but you are getting Allmendinger, Byron, Chastain, Reddick, Briscoe that could all finish top seven. Like, you can get five of your drivers that can finish top seven. Then you really only need McDowell to click off a top 15 finish, which he's more than capable of. We've seen him do it before at road courses. So I don't hate a build like this at all. I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in for. I'm doing some 20 lineups for the Chrome Horn. So if you don't like that I'm sharing lineups, I don't really care. This is what I'm putting in for the $4.20 entry. Let's go. Fade, Suarez, and Custer. So Daniel Suarez is an interesting option this week because he's so confident. Like, that car has a ton of speed and he knows it. He knows it does. And the problem is we haven't seen him compete for a win like since what? Bristol Dirt. Um Starting second at a road course. There's only 68 laps, and with how strategy plays out, and with Blaney starting the pole, with Reddick starting up there, I don't think Suarez is going to get. I don't think Suarez is going to win, and I don't think Suarez is going to finish top five. So I I'm not on the Suarez train today. I know a lot of people are. A lot of people want that, and that could be personal bias as well for me. Like, I don't really like Daniel Suarez, so I'm away from him. But I'll have a little bit of exposure in my 150 lineups, but as far as like anything I'm hand building, anything I'm putting in high dollar, I'm not gonna mess with Daniel Suarez. And same with Cole Custer. Um, I just don't. Custer starts way too high for me. Starting third, he's not gonna finish up there. I think he'll be lucky to finish top 10. Custer will. Why McDowell over Wallace? Because Bubba Wallace isn't good at road course racing at all. He I Let me pull up some stats here. I sure wish, I don't know if you guys use driveraverages.com, but I sure wish that website would actually work on race day. It's a lot easier. I can navigate it so much better than Racing Reference when I want to pull up quick stats. But yeah, Bubba Wallace just isn't good at road course races, and I'd much rather. Not only does McDowell start further back, but Bubba's just not good at this track type. Um, I'll just pull up his stats from last year because it'll be quick. 39. So he wrecked out of COTA. 26th at Daytona Road Course. 14th at Sonoma. That was a decent finish for him. 23rd at Watkins Glen. 13th in that shit show that was Indy. And then 14th at Charlotte Road. Yeah, I don't know. I take the extra 4 positions with McDowell. I think McDowell and Wallace have the same ceiling. Now you can obviously, if you that's so this is actually a very good point because I tweeted out like little pivots that you can do today to get off the chalk. So I think McDowell's going to be chalkier than Bubba. If McDowell has issues and if Bubba does finish top 15, anything can happen, but I'm just not. Bubba Wallace is one of those prove it to me guys, and he hasn't proven anything to me yet when it comes to road course racing. You can absolutely pair McDowell and Gilliland. I just don't think you have to go as far down as people think you do today. Like I don't think it's absolutely necessary. You certainly can. Let's do a lineup like that. So we'll do McDowell, Gill, and leaves you 95.50 average for the last 4 spots. So if we go, Allmendinger's like, I'm so high on Allmendinger today, it's not even funny. I'm probably going to live or die with the guy. So let's throw Allmendinger in there. And again, I'm fighting, or I'm sticking with this core of Allmendinger, Chastain. I'm going to stay away from Byron on this lineup. And then if you do want to go, Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson, and that still gives you $300 to play with. There's a lot of things you can do here with, if you go Gill and McDowell, you wouldn't even have to go Chastain here. You could go, if you just wanted to get only Elliott and then hit Truex. It's just not enough for Byron, of course. But you could go Larson. So you go Larson, Truex, Byron. Larson, Truex, Byron, Allmendinger, McDowell, Gill. And I don't love a lineup like that as much as I do something more central. Like I'm so I think there's just I think you can easily not easily, but I think it's going to be very possible to fit 5 top 8 finishers in a lineup today. I think there's a ton of value in the way that you can build today to get that. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I don't mind being off the Larson and Elliott chalk, which we kind of talked about before. I think that's a decent strategy today to go underweight on them and like single entry and stuff. I don't mind staying away from them at all because heck, you got Truex at 97, you got you got Briscoe at 89, Allmendinger at 88. Like these prices are just weird today, but DraftKings went really soft on pricing. I will say that. But yeah, you could throw Kyle Busch in there. You could even do something like if you do like Cindric today, you could do a Kyle Busch, Cindric, Truex, Allmendinger, McDowell, Gilliland. There's a lot of ways you can go here. But I still, if I'm gonna do this, Gilliland, McDowell, I'm probably gonna end up on Larson, Byron, and yeah. If you really want to chase, actually, I'd probably go. Give me Kyle Busch just to be different here, and then Hamlin or Logano today? Give me Logano. Like just as a pure like head to head pure finishing position, give me Logano. It's close. I didn't do my algorithm this week, so I can't tell you what that said, but yeah, I think Logano. Give me Logano there. I like the Penske speed. I like Ford speed this year. And that's another thing Nick and I talked about on Stacking Denny's this week was just how important recent performance is when it comes to predicting success at road courses, which, that if you listen to the episode, absolutely blew my mind. But it makes sense when you think about it. And the fastest guys this year, I mean, Blaney's been the fastest car this year. And he went out, he wrecked in first practice, and then he won the pole. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock this lineup in. Like I'm gonna stick with I'm gonna go Cindric here. I am gonna go Kyle Busch and Cindric. Okay. Let's do let's start here with Martin Truex Jr. And what was so the optimal, I gotta throw in my optimal that my projection said did not have Truex in it. Forgot. There we go. Larson, Byron, Allmendinger, Chastain, Harvick, and Joey Hand. I'll just throw that in quick, and then I'm going to pivot. Did that just... I'm assuming that news just broke. McDowell at the rear now. It doesn't mean anything. So let's do... so optimal, Larson, Byron, Allmendinger, Chastain, Harvick, Joey Hand. Okay. Andy Lally has a pass-through penalty. It doesn't matter. This track is huge. Pass-through penalties won't matter at all. Who's all going to the rear? I should probably... Looks like Allmendinger's going to the rear. Does not affect me. I'm not reacting to rear. Guys have to go to the rear at all. Looks like Eric Jones is as well. That's what Bob just tweeted. McDowell, Allmendinger, and Hand. Obviously Hand. Lally has the pass through as well. And then Eric Jones. So I was just about to talk to Eric Jones. So that's good. Good timing, because I actually kind of like Eric Jones today. As much hate as I've been giving the guy this year, I actually like him. Because you know what? He was competitive at road courses last year before they had this speed. Like, and at 7,400, that's such an awkward it's such an awkward price in DraftKings, like just in general. Like taking out super speedways, $7,400 is just an awkward price that typically doesn't get a ton of ownership. So that's kind of like, I could see Eric Jones going under owned, and the guy starts what, 30th? Like last year on road courses, which obviously like last year doesn't translate well, but it's the only data point that I have to say anything. Started 37th at Daytona road course, finished 14th. Finished 16th here at COTA in that rain after starting 29th. He was 19th at what's Elkhart Lake? Is that Road America? I always forget the name. 27th at Watkins Glen. I think he had an issue. Indy finished 7th. That you can throw that race out the window. Charlotte Roval finished 17th. So like starting 30th, and if Eric Jones has the speed like he's had this year, I really don't hate, getting Eric Jones there. So if we take Joey Hand out of here, we throw in Eric Jones, we're sticking with the core of Byron, Allmendinger, Chastain. Let's take Larson off of here and come down and grab Truex. So Truex, Byron, Allmendinger, Chastain, Jones gets a 6,600. I also don't hate Eric Almirola. I thought not that it means a ton, but I thought he looked decent enough in practice. His speeds did. The only thing is, I honestly don't know a ton about Almirola's. Kyle Busch. Ooh. I'll come back to that, Nick, after I finish this up. What is Almirola last year? 17th at Daytona Road Course. He was 27th at Sonoma, 14th at Road America, 16th at Watkins Glen, 19th at Indy, 24th at Charlotte Roval. Yeah, I don't hate Eric Almirola at all. Let me pull up, and maybe I'm crazy and he didn't look as good in practice as I thought he did, but I'm pretty sure like Almirola had decent speed in practice. Just looking at lap averages. But I'm going to go ahead and let me see what I can do here. I'm actually going to cut Byron out of this one. Come down and grab Briscoe. And then take off Almirola and go with Austin Dillon Stenhouse. Dillon's another one that Stenhouse is going to be chalky today at 69, starting 28th. So I'm going to go Austin here. McSobers has been a hot spot lately. I don't know if I can go back. I need to take a bit off of drinking. It's been a rough few days. Okay. Is this your tournament lineup, Doc? Kyle Busch, Logano, Byron, Dinger, Jones. Yeah, I don't hate this at all. Joey Hand. I don't hate that at all. It's Kyle Busch. You know, with as much talk as right, like Eric Jones. I really like Eric Jones today. Like this is my. So if you guys pay attention to my Twitter last week, I really liked William Byron as I started building lineups, and I tweeted out, I was like, you know, I'm landing on a lot of Byron. I would have wrote him up last week if I didn't already publish my article, and it was you know, I was making my lineups on Sunday. I was like, I would end up on Byron, and obviously it worked out. Like Atlanta was a great race, but that's kind of what I'm feeling with Eric Jones this week. Like it seems like a chalky play, but I don't think it's going to be as chalky as we want. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this lineup in as well. You could also jump up and grab Larson. I think I'm going to do both. Throw both in there. For anybody that missed it, Larson, Byron, Logano, Dinger, Eric Jones, Hand. So we kind of briefly talked about this earlier. I don't know if you missed it, but we'll go ahead and do a lineup with both Chase and Larson. My concern today with Chase and Larson, and I think like too many people are going to not be on them, but like are assuming that they're going to be the same Chase and Larson from last year, which obviously it wasn't even close. it was Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson last year, and it really wasn't even close for anybody else. Like there was flashes of other guys that had speed. Um, guys like Chastain, Reddick, they showed that they had speed. Byron had speed at Charlotte Roval. But with this new car, I don't think Larson and Elliott, and again, Nick and I talked about this on Stacking Denny's this week. Like, I'm not sure the advantage is going to be there. So, with this being the first road course race of the season, it opens up the opportunity for Larson and Chase to somehow be even chalkier than usual, especially with them starting, outside the top 10. And if they don't have that advantage, I think there's definite opportunity to like a very good opportunity, obviously, to be underweight on them and go elsewhere. Um, just because if they don't have that advantage, and they finish seventh, you could build a seventh and eighth or something like that. Like I still think they're going to be solid. I still think they could win. Like they're obviously still the favorites according to sports books. They still could very well prove me wrong and go out and win this thing. But I just think DFS wise, and like all, if you know me at all, I'm a very aggressive DFS player. One thing I don't mind doing is just going elsewhere, and just building different lineups to try to get as many top 10 finishers in your lineup as possible. And you're not spending like they don't have Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson priced super high this week. Like I said, it's very soft pricing by DraftKings, but it's enough where like it makes you then go down to the bottom of the barrel in a way, or it can, depending on how you do the rest of your build, where like you're relying on a guy like Joey Hand or a guy like Todd Gilliland or any of these guys down here. You're relying on attrition to get them to move forward. And I don't think that's a position that you want to be in. And I don't think that's a position that's going to take down a big tournament. But obviously it can. Like we've seen crazy stuff happen at road courses before. It's certainly possible. And the whole, the penalty thing with the S is we don't know how that's going to come into play today. But so we'll build a lineup here. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. Another guy, answer that in a second. I like to read the comments as they come in and not ignore them for any length of time. But Eric, again, I like Eric Jones. Chris Buescher is like a solid top 20 road course guy. I don't hate Buescher this week either. I think he can surprise some people. He's in that price range where it's it's like it just doesn't fit well normally. So I think he's not going to have much ownership. Plus, he starts 8 positions higher than Eric Jones. So people are going to gravitate to Jones, or they're going to come down to Stenhouse. Let me pivot to Buescher or Dillon and roll with them, because we've seen Buescher, compete, like legitimately compete for top 10 finishes at road courses before. So definitely don't hate Buescher this week either. But let's, so we got Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. I'm going to try to stay away from Allmendinger on this one. I mean, I think that's way too chalky. If you get Elliott, Larson, and Allmendinger in a lineup, way too chalky. But let's go. I'm going to throw Reddick in here. And again, I'm going to go. I still like Eric Jones. So let's throw Jones in here. This might not work out as well as I wanted it to. Throw Gilliland. We might have to come down to Hand to do, yeah. Throw Joey Hand on here. That can get us to Chastain. Elliott, Larson, Reddick, Jones, Chastain, Hand. Again, you're relying on Hand to possibly come away with, mid-20s to 20th place finish. Certainly possible, especially if he brings that same speed this week. I really like Chastain this week, like just outright. I like Reddick outright this week as well. But this gets you. I don't know what the chalk's going to be like. Like I mentioned, if you're going Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, I don't want to go Allmendinger as well because it's too much chalk. But how much chalk is Chastain going to be? Which, admittedly, like I haven't done a ton of research across the industry, so I don't know who everyone's on, but I have a feeling Chastain's going to be higher than I originally thought. Let's see if I'm going to try to get off a hand here. I need to cut off 500 to get to Gilliland. See, I don't want to do Stenhouse because I think it's too chalky. Come down here. Give me Almirola. Do I want to go Gralla? I'm gonna throw Rotodoc's Paul Menard pick of the week in here and roll with Harrison Burton. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, Eric Almirola, Ross Chastain, Harrison Burton. Submit it. Here we go. I wanted to get back to this question. I wouldn't say I've cooled on anybody. I've been really high on Chastain, really high on Reddick, and really high on Byron since the beginning of the week. That hasn't changed at all. If anything, I like them all even more. And I have warmed on, I'd say, Eric Jones a lot this week. I'm coming around on Cindric a bit. I think he's a sneaky play. Not sneaky, relative term. $9,500 for Cindric this week was absolutely insane pricing. But starting 10th and he's sandwiched there between Truex and Byron, starting 17th to 24th. I think there's opportunity there that he might, his ownership's going to not be as high as we thought it'd be. And then if Cindric, if he goes out and wins. So I'd say I've warmed on Eric Jones the most. You could also throw Kyle Busch in that and Chase Briscoe. And then, Reddick, Chastain, Byron. I threw a bet on Allmendinger today, 25-1. I didn't understand the 25-1. Like, why is he still 25-1 right now? He didn't look awful yesterday. He dominated the Xfinity race. And if this car, brings out the talent, so we have this combination of this car bringing out the top talent, and Circuit of the Americas is a very difficult road course. Like, this is a very technical road course. At all signs point to AJ Allmendinger there. Colin cars are not awful. I'm not worried about mechanical issues with them. So you have one of the best road course racers. You have one of the toughest road course tracks. Yes, he's starting 20th. He didn't make it to the final round, but I'm not worried about that at all. And like I said, I absolutely love him in DFS. Like, you have to. Yes, he's chalk, but I can't not, like, I'm going to have a ton of Allmendinger today. I'll say that. Build a Larson Truex lineup? Absolutely. So we can start Larson Truex. Let's see if we can do. I'm just kind of playing around here. Go Allmendinger, Chastain. Leaves us 64. Just seeing what kind of wiggle room I can work with here if I do go down to Joey Hand. I'm actually going to, just a second, see what my projections say if you're forcing a Larson Truex build, and then we'll go from there. 1 second. Larson Truex. Lock that. Shout out to Fantasy Labs. I really love their optimizer. If you don't, that's interesting. If you don't, that makes sense actually. But if you want a great optimizer with like that can do a ton of stuff, plus you get Rotodoc's projections, all that. I can't recommend Fantasy Labs enough. So the optimal, according to my projections, when you're forcing in a Larson Truex lineup, is Larson Truex, Byron Allmendinger, which Byron's my highest projected driver, so that makes sense. And then it's telling you to throw in Joey Hand and then grab Eric Almirola. I would probably I I don't love having like too much Joey Hand today. Like probably staying at 15%. Because I know if you run my projections through an optimizer, it's gonna spit out Joey Hand and like significantly more than that. I forget the exact percentage on it, but you run 150, and I think it's going to go with Hand in like 38% of the time. It actually really loves Kaz Grala as well, which Bill, thoughts on Grala? I don't. So that's one of the things I don't trust the equipment. So you run 150 lineups, just taking my projections today, saying, hey, give me 150 lineups, top 150 lineups, and it's spitting out. Keep going. Just a second. Spitting out Allmendinger, Byron, Chastain, majority. So it's going 94% Allmendinger, 90% Byron, 80% Chastain. It's going 40% Harvick, 35% Larson, and then it's getting into the Kaz Grala at 34%, and it's going Joey Hand at 28.7. So obviously you're going to have to adjust those down unless you want to be insanely like if you want to live or die by the Allmendinger, Byron, Chastain core, I wouldn't blame you. Like I'm gonna have a ton of lineups with all three of those guys in it, but obviously if you're doing 150 lineups, you probably don't want to go that extreme. But let's go and 400. Give me McDowell and Gilliland, which we just talked about this earlier, doing a McDowell Gilliland lineup. I don't hate this one either. It allows you to stay on Byron, because that was going to be my other option there to get off a Hand, was coming off of Byron and coming down to someone like a Briscoe or a Chastain. Allows you to stay on Byron, allows you to stay on Allmendinger. Is this too chalky? Like Truex or Byron's going to be chalky, Allmendinger's going to be chalky, Larson's going to be chalk. Maybe. That's kind of why I wanted to get off of Byron and go to a Briscoe. But I think this is a pretty solid, safe lineup. Every single one of your guys 13th or worse starting position. So yeah, let's if I came down to Chastain instead of it's 100 off of getting Jones instead of McDowell. But talked about Chris Buescher earlier, and I don't hate the Buescher play. And that's if you want to get off McDowell, though. If you don't, you would be able to 600 come down to 67. Just sticking Almirola in there. Or you could come to Harvick. Gives you an extra $200 to work with, but it's not going to get you up to McDowell. It could get you to Stenhouse, so I'm going to roll with this, though, I think. Larson, Truex, Chastain, Allmendinger, Busch, or Gilliland. Do I want to go McDowell? Yeah, let's go Busch or Gilliland. Favorite low percentage play at the bottom. Define low percentage, because here's what's going to happen. Here's what I think is going to happen. A lot of people are going to be on Joey Hand, and I think he's a good play. Josh Bilicki, Cody Ware, Boris Said, and Heseman, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, are going to rely on attrition, whereas I think Joey Hand can get up there with talent, and I think his car is decent enough that he can get there on talent. Is he still extremely risky, and do I want to limit my exposure to Joey Hand? Absolutely. I really don't want to be above 15% today on Joey Hand. I haven't built all of my lineups yet, so I don't know where I'm going to end up on that. But I don't want to get above, like, I understand how enticing and how like when you get a guy that cheap and you can stuff in all the other big guys, like, I get it. It's fun. But I don't think that's the best route to take today. I'd rather one guy I'm very interested in, to answer your question, low percentage play. So I think Joey Hand's going to be high owned. Corey LaJoie isn't good at road courses, so as much as I want to play him, I don't think he's going to be a good play. I think Todd Gilliland's going to get decent ownership today. Gralla, I have concerns about the equipment. My projections really like Kaz Gralla for what it's worth. I have concerns about the equipment. If they don't have equipment issues, he has the talent to be a good DFS play. Harrison Burton is RotoDoc's Paul Menard pick of the week. I don't mind that. But the guy that I'm kind of eyeing in this low range is Ty Dillon. Because I think he can be decent today. His road course experience really isn't awful. So we go back to 2020, 23rd at Charlotte Roval, 20th at Daytona Road Course. And that was the year they didn't race at Watkins Glen, right? Yeah, so to answer your question, I really don't mind, like, if you are going to go with the build down there of sticking in, instead of Joey Hand, like, if you want to get off the Joey Hand, I think Ty Dillon is a great pivot, and it's a very small pivot. Like, you look at Ty Dillon, he's finished top 20 every race this year except last week. I really don't hate Ty Dillon this week. I think more people or a lot of people are overlooking him. I could be wrong, but I think with the speed that Joey Hand showed, and then Todd Gilliland just winning the truck race last year and getting that kind of bump, I think Ty Dillon could be a play this week for sure. And I'm going to go ahead and build a lineup here with him in it. So let's go Ty Dillon. I want to get. I'll wait a second on the high dollar guys. Let's go Byron. I'm going to go with my core here. Byron, Allmendinger, Chastain. Now, if I throw Reddick in here, gives me Kyle Busch. And I think we did the same lineup earlier. Kyle Busch. I think I went Joey Hand instead of Ty Dillon, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this one in here, Ty Dillon, with it, and come back to here and do another one with Ty Dillon. So give me Ty Dillon. Give me Eric Jones again. Let's go Allmendinger, Byron. Chase Elliott. and Chase Briscoe. Chase Elliott. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better going Ty Dillon over Joey Hand if I'm digging deep. And I know I've said that. I'm just repeating it. But and then obviously you have the replace Gilly Burton or Gralla. Give me Gilliland out of those three. It'd be Gralla if I wasn't so concerned about that, about their equipment. Harrison Burton is it like I said, it's Rotodoc's Paul Menard pick of the week. I agree with it as a Paul Menard pick of the week, but I can't fall in love with a Paul Menard pick of the week. It's very risky and it could easily work out, but it's not one of those that like is going to anchor a ton of your lineups. I would, yes. I'd swap Ty in instead of Joey Hand in single entries. The more I'm thinking about it, I mean, like if I like Eric Jones, I have to like Ty Dillon. Like coming from the same fleet, Joey Hand is likely going to be over probably higher owned than he should be. I don't know. But yeah, give me Ty Dillon. I mean, he's still starting back in 33rd. Like there's yeah. I'm gonna work on this lineup a little bit more though. Yeah, Chase Elliott. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, William Byron, AJ Allmendinger, Eric Jones, Ty Dillon. Let's go. Martin Truex Jr. If anybody has any more suggestions on, like one or two drivers for me to start with, go ahead for it. I'm going to go back through some of these old comments here quick, see if I missed anything that I want to hit on. Opinion on Kurt Busch to hammer with the mid-tier darlings of Chastain and Reddick. Kurt Busch is kind of a wild card to me. I like where your head's at. Starting 11th, he's going to go overlooked. Obviously, right there with, even Harvick there starting 18th, Chastain, Reddick, like you said. And he, going back to last year, I'm pretty sure Kurt was like really solid on road courses last year. 4th at Daytona road course in 2021, 6th at Sonoma, 4th at Road America, 6th at the Indianapolis Shitfest, 25th at Charlotte Roval. I'm sure I missed a couple in there. 13th at Watkins Glen, 6th at Sonoma. I like where your head's at there. I'm going to go ahead and start this one with Kurt Busch. I don't remember. He's decent speed. He had decent speed in practice, right? Yeah. As far as like overall average. And it sucks that those guys yesterday didn't get any decent runs in like for us to get 5-lap averages. Reddick and Logano had the best 5-lap averages yesterday, and they were a good size or a good amount better than Almirola, Ty Dillon, Andy Lally, Harrison Burton. Let me go back to Just a second, guys. Pull up my sheet here. The thing that worries me most about Kurt Busch is like he just hasn't had the speed despite having the finishes this year. But obviously you have to be there to have the finishes. What am I looking for here? Let's go. So give me Kurt Busch. And if you go Kurt Busch, like you can be chalkier with the rest of your lineup because people aren't going to be on Kurt Busch at all. So I still like sticking to my core. Chastain, Allmendinger, Byron. 79.50 average for the rest of your lineup. Give me that's not going to get me up where I want. Uh-oh. 50,000. I don't hate this. Truex, Byron, Chastain, Allmendinger, McDowell, Kurt Busch. Sticks with that, the chalk there in the middle, but it also throws in Kurt Busch to differentiate yourself. So don't mind that at all. Obviously, if you wanted to come up here and grab a Kyle Busch or Kyle Larson or Chase Elliott, you'd have to dip down a little bit further. You could come and grab Todd Gilliland. That gives you $600 to work with, which could get you up to Kyle Busch over Truex if you wanted to switch that up. Again, don't mind that at all. But I'm going to stick with this and probably come in and throw that other one in as well. There with Kurt Busch. Give me Kyle Busch, Byron, Allmendinger, Chastain, Kurt Busch, and Gilliland. If you didn't want to go Gilliland, you could come down to Ty Dillon. What does it look like if you go Ty Dillon? Gives you even more room to work with if you wanted to go Chase or Larson here. I'm going to go Chase just to be fun. Chase, Byron, Allmendinger, Chastain, Kurt Busch, Ty Dillon. Coming up here. Still looking at these old comments. Okay. Kyle Busch, I think the track time will help him, and I thought he had a very good car yesterday. So I'm pretty high on Kyle Busch today. I think he's going to contend for the win. I don't think people are going to be fading Chase today. He's going to. I mean, it's a road course, and he's starting 12th. And DraftKings is soft on pricing. I can see why you think that. I can see, like a lot. I know a lot of people are saying Chase might not be the best option today. I don't think he's going to be low owned by any means. I mean, it's Chase Elliott. He always gets the Chase Elliott bump in ownership, and now we're at a road course, which is going to give him an even further bump. So, 100%. That's something. Good luck to you. I mean, I've done it before at a road course. Like, I don't think it makes as much sense to do that today as it did a couple years ago, as it did last year. But You could talk to me after the race today, and I could be 100% wrong there. Uh, I'd probably go Allmendinger. Yeah, I like Allmendinger way too much today. I like Briscoe, but I really like Allmendinger. Alex Bowman. I know we got another question about Alex Bowman earlier as well. Here's my thing with Alex Bowman. He starts fifth. So when you oh, that's a good one. I'll get to that in a second, Cohiba. Um so when you got a guy starting fifth at a road course, like there's 68 laps, guys. Not a ton of laps led points coming today, and not a lot of fastest laps. If we get a caution for any amount of time, they're just going to click laps. And plus, we got the stage cautions. Like, we're not going to get a ton of fastest laps today. So when you got someone starting top 5, top 6, you need them to finish top 3 for it to work out, most likely, if you're trying to build the optimal lineup. So Alex Bowman isn't a top 3 road course racer. He's probably a solid top 10 today, but him starting top 10 or him finishing top 10 isn't going to get there in DFS. Think of it this way: like, would you be starting Bowman if he was starting 5th at Talladega or Daytona? I wouldn't even I'd take him completely out of my player pool because it's just not worth it. I don't think he's going to lead laps, and I don't think he's going to get fastest laps. So you're literally relying then on finish and the minimal amount of place differential for it to work out, and I just don't see that happening. Briscoe Cindric build. Yeah, let's do that. Good suggestion. So we got Cindric and Briscoe. 7,900 left for the last 4. Let's go. Where do we want to go from here? Let's go. I'm still on the Ty Dillon train, but I don't want to get too much Ty Dillon. For now, let's throw McDowell on here. I'm going to come back to that and just kind of play around with this cap a little bit. Let's go with Eric Jones starting 30th. That gets us to a 9,000 average to work with. I still really like Ross Chastain today. Throw him in there. Gives us 98 to work with. So we got Cindric, Briscoe. Let's think this through for a second. Trying to maximize top 10 finishers in this lineup. Let's throw Allmendinger in there. And okay, we're assuming Cindric finishes top 5, Briscoe challenges top 5, Chastain gets up there, Allmendinger gets up there. Man, is it too risky? It might be a little too risky to throw Reddick in there. Gonna answer this quick. Yeah, I like McDowell today. I think he's gonna get higher owned than you might be expecting him, though. I don't think it's a secret that he's a good road course racer. Probably about mid-teens potential. but with him starting 27th, that's gonna work out. So definitely don't hate McDowell. I'm gonna stick this lineup in and then come back and do another one with this base. So Cindric, Briscoe, McDowell, Reddick, Chastain, Allmendinger. Throw that in, and come back. Cindric, Briscoe, Allmendinger, Chastain. Okay, let's come down and grab Ty Dillon. Man, you're reading my mind. And William Byron. So don't hate this. Cindric, Briscoe, Allmendinger, Chastain, Byron, Ty Dillon. But you know what else you can do? I'm going to update, or I'm going to lock that in, and I'm going to do another one. Cindric, Byron, Briscoe, Allmendinger, Reddick, Ty Dillon. So you can do that as well. But yeah, I don't think that's if you're building tournament lineups. I like, if you want to get different, I definitely like Briscoe, Cindric as a way to differentiate yourself. And also, there's Logano there too. Go Logano, Briscoe. Might as well do that now, huh? Let's go Byron, Logano, Briscoe, Allmendinger. If we throw Chastain on there, leaves us 57. Gilligang. Yeah. I'm going to play around with this a little bit. So we got Byron, Logano, Briscoe, Allmendinger, Chastain, Todd Gilliland. If I was building, if this was part of my 150, I got to answer this text real quick. I would, if I was building this as part of my 150, I'd make sure I went with, threw a Kurt Busch in there as well. I talked about him earlier. Oh, it's $100 short from getting McDowell. Damn it. That's tough. If you grab Jones, again, I don't like Bubba Wallace. I don't love Bubba Wallace today, and I'd rather have, if I'm gonna have McDowell and Jones, I'd rather go Chastain and Gilliland. But just a second, guys. Okay, we got Byron, Logano, Briscoe, Allmendinger. Ty Dillon gets us to 88, which can get us Reddick or Chastain. What if we took out Byron? We threw in Chastain. 99. Kurt Busch instead. Get Kyle Busch. Kurt, Kyle, Logano, Briscoe, Allmendinger. Pretty risky going 3 guys, top 14 starters. Especially with Kurt Busch in there. Of course, $100 short with Harvick in there. You could go Joey Hand then, Logano, Briscoe, Allmendinger, Harvick. But I'd probably. Am I forgetting Cindric? I don't think you want to go Cindric and Logano and Briscoe. I mean, you could. Screw it. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. Um, again, I don't think you want to pair Reddick and Logano into the same lineup. So I'd go Chastain in this situation. Leaves $400 on the table, but Cindric, Logano, Briscoe, Allmendinger, Chastain, Ty Dillon. I'd probably go with Truex over Cindric in that particular example in this one. Kind of depends how risky you want to be. Again, that's what it's all going to come down to. But like I've mentioned, like this is, I think today is going to come down to small pivots because first road course race of the season, ton of chalk. Finishing positions. I didn't do my algorithm today. I know my actual projections. I have my average projected finish of guys. Joey Hand has average projected finish of 27.2, and Lally has 30.5. That's on my DraftKings projections. So not the algorithm, but the DraftKings projections. I don't think Reddick's going to be a sneaky play today. I think people are on. I hope Reddick's a sneaky play today. That'd be awesome because I'm going to have a good amount of Reddick, but I don't think he's going to be sneaky. I think there's enough people that know what he can do. He showed up on road courses last year. I don't think he's going to be sneaky by any means. I think I have him projected for I have him projected for 15.5% ownership. I think he's going to be higher than that though, just off my head. All right, back to this lineup. Truex, Logano, Briscoe, Allmendinger, Chastain, Ty Dillon. I would get off of Chastain and come down to. Let me do this. Instead of Truex, come down to Byron, Logano, Briscoe, Allmendinger. Get off Chastain, come down to Eric Jones. That's just not going to get me. If I had an extra $100 and I could throw Almirola in there, I'd probably consider it. I'm not liking going Bubba or McDowell here. Could go Busher over Jones here. Playing game theory here. We got Logano starting up front. You're hoping he finishes top 3. Briscoe, you need a top 5 out of him probably to make it work. Joey Hand is it the Rick Ware car that he's in? Yes, has a Stuart Haas alliance. I don't think Lally's in a Stuart Haas car. Um, he's in the 78, right? Yeah, Lally's in the BJ McLeod car. That I don't think they have their alliance anymore. I could be wrong, but if they still have their alliance, that BJ McLeod has fallen off significantly speed wise. He used to be the best. Like it used to be him and Cody Ware last year on speed wise when it comes to the back markers. They used to be like for sure. If nothing happened, they were the top two back markers. You know, they'd be laps ahead of the other guys. Um, that's not happening this year. So I don't know if they. I don't know what happened there. I'm trying to look it up on J-Ski and I'm not seeing anything. So I don't know if they still have that alliance or not, but yes, I'm pretty sure the 15 does. Yeah, Rick Ware Racing has an alliance with Stuart Haas in 2022. Um, and I don't like the 15 has decent speed for sure. I'm gonna go with the Ty Dillon lineup here and then go. Mm-mm. Actually, I'm gonna go Gilly Gang. Byron Logano, Briscoe, Allmendinger, Chastain, and Gilliland. Lock that one in. If anybody has any more suggestions on drivers for me to start with for a lineup, go ahead. Go through my projections here. Like I said, my projections really like Gralla today. So my optimal, which I posted in my article, my optimal, according to projections, is Larson. Larson, I'm not making a Suarez lineup. No way. Can't do it. Larson. So optimal, according to my projections, is Larson, Byron, Allmendinger, Chastain, Harvick, Hand. Um, I'd probably go Ty Dillon over Hand if I was going to enter that. The second highest projected is instead of Larson, it grabs Truex. So it goes Truex, Byron, Allmendinger, Chastain, Harvick, and then it goes Kaz Gralla. Which isn't I don't hate it. Like I said, Gralla's a big question mark for me today. I'm gonna go ahead and enter that one though. I'll do a Denny lineup here in a second. I don't know if I'm gonna enter it, but I'll do it. Seeing what some of the other top lineups my projections spit out. I think we did this one, didn't we? So it likes Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, William Byron, Ross Chastain. Reddick, Allmendinger. And then it likes Hand, but again, I'd probably go Ty Dillon on that if I was entering that one specifically. I'm really liking that. Like for anybody that just joined or didn't hear before, I've talked myself into Ty Dillon and Eric Jones a lot during this stream, more than I thought I would be, just because of how everything's playing out with Joey Hand. I think Ty Dillon might get over or underutilized today by players. Percentage on Harvick. I haven't made all my lineups yet. I'm gonna get off here soon so I can do that. But I will say my projections absolutely love Kevin Harvick more than I do in my own head. So, which that's like the classic case of where I sometimes falter at DFS is my projections say, this guy's a good play, and then I throw it in my head like, is he though? and then I don't end up playing, and then I'm like, well, I should have just listened to my damn projections. But Harvick is, yeah, like I love the price on Harvick, especially if you want to. I really like, putting him in with. I want to make sure that I need to write this down. Make sure I entered this one. I'll just do this. Harvick starting. Where does Harvick even start? 18th. Yeah, I think Harvick's a good play today. No problem. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for that. Your suggestions were great today. Good luck to you. I like where your head's at. That's definitely, I think that's the good mindset to have today, is where you're at. Small little adjustments. Again, I'm going to repeat this for anybody. I think there's going to be so much chalk and so much old line of thinking today that with this new car and with this being the first road course race of the season, I think there's high potential of doing very good today by making these small adjustments and staying away from groupthink, because yes, it's very easy to get caught up in this is how it's always been. This, it's all we have to work with. But just look at what's happened this year. Like, these races haven't been exactly what we expected. So who's to say that this road course is going to be exactly what we expect? So yes, it's great to play guys in DFS that we know are very solid, but at the same time, guys that are going to surprise, these small little tweaks, definitely ton of room there to be different and win a bunch of money today. Here's an interesting, I'm still going through my highest projected lineups. Here's one that's sticking out to me. Again, I like these builds of a ton of the like what I consider the mid-range guys. So this one is Byron Allmendinger, and I'm really, really interested to see what kind of ownership Byron gets today, just because he's going to get that last week winner bump. He's obviously starting 24th. He's underpriced. I'm pretty sure everybody's talking Byron up. Yeah. So, that's a good one. Construct a lineup with Doc's model theory of recent performance being a top indicator. I will, but I kind of think that's where we've been at. Like the guys that I like this week: Reddick, Chastain, Byron. Only guy that I haven't with that is Blaney, and I'll pull up Doc's speed thing here in a second. But I want to go through this lineup that's popping for me in my in this optimizer. Did someone Austin Dillon? Yeah. So so okay, this lineup's popping to me. Byron Allmendinger, Chastain, Reddick, Harvick, and Busher. Like that a lot. I need to grab a piece of paper or something. Just a second. I kind of really like that. Just passing the eye test. A lot of potential there. You know, again, how many drivers can you fit that are going to finish have top 10 potential and definite top 15 potential? Byron, yes. Allmendinger, yes. Reddick, yes. Risky with Reddick, but starting fourth. But if he leads some laps, gets fastest laps, finishes top 5, he can get there. Chastain, yes. Harvick, yes. Busher, I think, can finish top 15. So, and I think he's going to be underplayed. So I really like this lineup quite a bit. Now we'll do an Austin Dillon lineup. This is the top Austin Dillon lineup using my projections. 100%. Like you know it's going to happen today. You know it's going to happen. I am concerned about this whole penalty thing. But like, how many people did it affect in the Xfinity and Truck? I didn't fully watch those races. Like I was kind of in and out, kind of watching them. But yes, and then like when Almirola just kept like he got penalized for it during qualifying, and then when he went back out there, I swear he did it again. Like I just didn't see. It's like he didn't. I don't know, learn or know. That's rough. That's a rough day. Hey, but maybe flip side will happen today. You know, you'll the opposite. Um, maybe you'll go and win an extra 10 grand this week. Haley got it late, running second. Yep. So Austin Dillon, going back to that comment, my top projected lineup with Austin Dillon in it is basically what we just built, but with Austin Dillon instead of Busher, Reddick, Chastain, Austin Dillon, Harvick. I personally like the Busher play better, but I don't hate this either. Like, you know, again, if I'm entering 150, they're both going in there. Or when I enter 150, they're both going in there. Second highest projected, and it's very close here with Austin Dillon in it, is throw in Larson, Byron, Chastain, Allmendinger, and McDowell. I think I like this one better a little bit. I'm just not like, yeah. I think I like this one a little bit better, and then you could also go Chase Elliott here or Kyle Busch. Like obviously, you have the room to do either. You could also, if you didn't want to go McDowell going Kyle Busch there, you could jump up and grab. I keep thinking Eric Almirola is 6,500 when he's 66. Never mind. But yeah, don't if you're thinking, I think Austin Dillon's gonna have to crack top 10 with a lineup like this. So keep that in mind. But hey, crazier things have happened. To do a Denny lineup, I forget who said Denny. Someone said Denny. I'm not going to find it. Answer this first. Not a DFS question. Tough time deciding on a one and done lead. Leading Cindric was thinking of going out of the box with Chastain or Byron. Still have typical road guys available. All like complete honesty, I am so bad at one and done leagues. That's tough. I don't know. I would the wanting to save for later in me would want to go with like a road course guy. I'd probably go with like Hand, but like I said, I'm not good. I'm not good at one and done leagues. No, I didn't do algorithm this week because I was just lazy. No, no reason for it at all. I was just lazy. Top lineup with Hamlin in it. Hamlin. Yeah, it's and this is just go. I'm just going off my projections here. Hamlin, Byron, Chastain, Harvick, Allmendinger, Kazgrala. I would look into possibly. I just don't love the Hamlin play overall. And then second highest projected is Hand instead of Gralla. I think. No. Hamlin, Byron, Chastain. Oh, it's doing Reddick. Throwing Reddick in there instead of Harvick. You could do something like that. Ty Dillon, Allmendinger, and then instead of Harvick, jump up and grab. Actually, go Briscoe and Hand. Do a Hamlin, Byron, Chastain, Briscoe, Allmendinger, Hand. Don't hate that. Or go Ty Dillon and Reddick. Depends how good you're feeling about Reddick, but safer side is going Hand and Briscoe here with Hamlin, Byron, Chastain, and Allmendinger. Ty Dillon. We talked about this a little bit earlier. I think Ty Dillon's going overlooked today. I think a lot of people are going to gravitate toward Hand because of his speed in practice. And Ty Dillon is like a legit top 15 potential. I like him and Eric Jones. They're in the same cars. Those cars have shown speed this year. And I think like they're look at what Eric Jones did when he was in Joe Gibbs Racing Equipment and he had speed. He was like one of the better road course drivers. Now all of a sudden that petty car has speed again. Like Ty Dillon is a weekly top 20 finisher this year. He's been top 20 finisher before at road courses. 5,100, starting 33rd. Yes, I really like Ty Dillon today. Quite a bit. Let's go. I'm going to pull up Rotodoc's speed for the year quick. Fastest. So going per race averages, run position, top 15 percentage, quality passing percentage, driver rating, fastest lap percentage. Blaney, Byron, Logano, Chase, Larson, Reddick. So then you got Chastain there in 10th. And then he did another one. So he did. So Doc did like a full ranking: Blaney, Byron, Reddick, Larson, Briscoe 5th, Chase Elliott, Chastain. So I personally I think it's too risky to go Blaney today. So I'm gonna not go Blaney with this lineup with this build. So just go like a Byron Reddick. So you get like Larson's 4th and Elliott's 6th. Briscoe's up there 5th. Chastain is 7th. So right now we have 4 of the top 7 in that speed ranking. Stenhouse is 15th. Starts 28th today. That's not going to get me where I want. Now, obviously, like Allmendinger. Man, that's a solid core to work with on speed right there. Byron, Reddick, Briscoe, Chastain, Allmendinger. And then I know I'd probably go McDowell there. Bubba's faster on speed though, so I don't know. It's kind of one of those. Yeah. Again, I think there's so much potential just to hit these mid price guys and kind of have exposure to Chase and Larson and Kyle Busch, but don't rely too heavily on them. But if there's no more questions, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to go build the rest of my lineups. Hopefully we see a good race today. Should be. No rain in the forecast. Super technical track. I think the best road course races are definitely going to get to the front. And again, don't definitely consider my minor little tweaks, minor little pivots. That's how I see this race playing out, with how weird it could potentially get with the penalties for the S's, with drivers randomly spinning. Like we know someone's going to get spun today. At least someone's going to get spun today. Probably quite a few are. So try to stay away from the big group think. I think this is a very good week to do that. First road course race, a lot of people are going to be sticking there. Go on speed. Go for some of the obvious yet not obvious plays, and good luck with your lineups. We got what is it, Richmond next week? Yeah. I definitely won't be able to do a live next week, but I'll probably do these more often. When I have time on Sundays, this was fun. So thanks for everybody for tuning in. Any questions? You got anything else? Hit me up on Twitter. And good luck. See you guys.